I've been called to make this video, and I was going to channel my inner Teal Swan so that you guys can understand it better. But I'm just going to speak from spirit. A lot of people are making their 2020 prediction videos, and before those videos started to come out, a lot before many things in 2020 started to happen already. And it might be confusing because many people are saying, as they say probably almost every year, how 2020 is supposed to be amazing, transitional. And this is just another perspective, and they're right. It is supposed to be amazingly transitional. In 2020, we need to be more disciplined with how we react to things, our anger and our emotions, as well as how we affect other people. We need to also be aware that we affect the people around us with every single decision that we make. Now, in the spiritual community, the veil, quote unquote, has been lifting or thinning for years now. And from my perspective, I've never been really a part of this spiritual community. I grew up religious, as of many of us have. Well, I'm not going to get into my religious background right now, but I will say that it is so important to hang on to your foundations during this time of 2020. All of the pillars of the world are falling, and I have been saying this for a year now. All of the pillars of the world are falling. This means religion, spirituality, that sector, politics, the government, everything, school constructs, everything that we know has the chance and the ability to be recreated during this time. You will not see all of the changes happening at once this year, but this is the year of planting those seeds. This is the year of what will survive for the next decade, for our generation, for millennials and Generation Z. Will war happen? Yes. War has already begun. We've been at war, but the war has been turning physical, and it will be more physical. And God forbid that it ends up in your backyard, but where we're headed is a really quite beautiful time, even though we won't view it that way. This is the year of challenge, complete challenge. Like, last year was training. 2020 is the test. Have faith that you will be redirected even when you make mistakes. Have faith that you will be redirected on the path that you are supposed to be on. When you don't have faith, this causes you to have a lack of confidence in your own future and in yourself. And we all know what happens when you lack confidence. Everything falls apart. So it's so important to work on yourself during this time. It's no longer about the outside. It's no longer about what people think about you or how to paint this perfect picture. You no longer have to be strategic about life in 2020. It's all about intention in 2020 because of the knowing. I like to equate the knowing to the information age. For people who aren't quite as spiritual, it's all subject to perspective and interpretation to me. And I don't believe in shoving things down people's throats, because I think that we're all right in a sense. And I think that's the conclusion that we're coming to in 2020, is to really just open ourselves up to information, to what other people might be feeling or thinking, to other people's perspectives, because we are coming to the realization that we aren't living the same kind of lives. Yet we relate to one another, yes, but we aren't living the same kind of life. We aren't seeing through the same lenses. But there is a knowing right now, and it's really quite beautiful, that you can go to your neighbor and talk to them on a deeper subject. And many people are still quite reluctant to these ideas, but they cannot say that it doesn't resonate. As for the people who ignore the knowing during this time, there's a huge door open right now, and it's closing probably today, this week. And it's probably already closed, and I'm just walking on water because I was late. I'll tell you this. But for the people that have been left behind during this phase, we'll have to learn to walk on water. And I hope that makes sense to someone or resonates with someone who might feel discouraged during this time. Okay? I'm not going to have it all together. And I think that for those people who feel like that, it's so important to recognize those feelings and to realize that you are a shining star and a leader for those people who are being left behind, and to show them that it's possible. It is up to us to overcome our fears and to transcend so that we can ascend. So this is a time where authenticity matters. You will no longer much see too many Instagram models. No more celebrity praising. We're starting to realize that celebrities are just like us, and the new wave of celebrities will be actual leaders, people who they can show for that they are doing the work. So this will be a major time in finances for people who work in organizations, in community service. There will be many people still operating off of the collective. But what we have to know is that the collective is here. You have it. It's in your hands. It's your responsibility to focus on the individual. Many of us in 2019 have learned to focus on the individual, but what came with that was the lack of empathy for our neighbors. From about 2012, we've learned to create our own bubbles. We've learned to create our own spots for ourselves, for our uniqueness, and it's beautiful. But in 2020, We will learn empathy because it's something that everybody is craving during this time. Everybody's craving to be understood, and everybody's masking themselves, especially celebrities, especially Instagram's internet celebrities. They're masking themselves, but really and truly they are sacrificing themselves for your entertainment, for your amusement. They're sacrificing themselves. There will still be a number of sacrifices during 2020. There will still be a number of sacrifices, but significantly, that number will lower. It reminds me of the post the baby just made when he said that, you know, let me shut up before I start scaring people away. You're gonna see less of that. You're gonna see more people just speaking their minds. And you've been seeing that in 2019, but in 2018 it's gonna be common. And we're gonna have to learn how to not let it anger us. We're gonna have to learn how to deal with those emotions and to let those emotions flow. 2020 is the year of flow. And if you aren't flowing, it's going to be a huge split. The divide has already begun to happen. And we know this, especially here in America. I want you guys to know where I'm from. I'm from Louisiana, where stuff like this is really hard to talk about. It's really conservative here, but I like it. Since Instagram may actually be getting rid of likes, that's also a huge pivotal thing that could, well, like a lot of everything is going to be like affecting everything. But to think about the Instagram getting rid of the likes and stuff like that, I can see people really having to deal with their emotions because they will no longer have the ability to like. They will have to comment. It's so easy to get off track and to say something out of line. It's so easy to say something that you normally would not say in person. But people are going to have to learn to deal with those emotions and figure out what caused me to feel this way about this post. Instead of just liking it and scrolling by, people will actually have to process and figure out if they want to comment or what they want to say. It's going to be less influence, because I feel like whenever people see that 1,000 views, then they are like, if someone sees 1,000,000 views, that's the video that gets clicked. I clicked the video that says 1,000,000 views too, because most likely like that's the one that was shared, right? Same thing with Instagram. You see 100 likes. Okay, well, let me like this too because my friends liked it. In 2020, we're going to be forced into individuality. It's going to scare a lot of people, and that's why it's going to get dangerous, because it's going to scare a lot of people. A lot of people are already getting scared because their foundations are being wiped up from under them with all of this information age and all this spirituality crap. People are lost and becoming more lost. And people are upset with influencers because they feel like they're causing more people to be lost. But it's this idea that we're lost that causes us and keeps us lost. It's this idea that we have to fight that causes us to continue to be in anguish. In 2020, the divide is official, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be shaky, but it's going to be so transitional. And you're going to be so happy with who you come out to be on the other side if you do the work. But like I said, this is an ongoing subject, and people are going to be talking about this. Intuitive spiritual teachers on YouTube are going to be talking about this all 2020 and so forward. And you're going to see people trying to create their own. Well, people are already doing that, like creating their own little communities. But you might see another big religion just come up. out the blue. There are many people that's like hate religion, but like there are many people that know that nothing's wrong with religion because it's just something that as humans we create to be a guide, to help, because as a collective we can't, it's hard to think as a collective, but we really should be thinking as individuals and then coming to collaborate. Many people are losing their foundations, therefore they're losing their purpose. And I personally just want to thank God, the universe, or whoever you want to thank, your spiritual guides, right now for being alive during 2020. I haven't seen anybody wanting to give thanks. Give thanks for being alive during 2020. Because you have a purpose of being here right now. I don't know about y'all, but when the veil started thinning, a lot of people started dying. A lot. And yes, that will increase, but it's because of this time it'll be because of physical war. Do I think that physical war will happen as belligerently here in the US as it does in many other countries or on military sites? About a year ago, I did have that thought that yes, it will be in our backyards soon. But I don't want to say that and put that out in the universe. There will be more outrage, definitely. But it hasn't yet gotten to the point where it could go that fast, because things have been happening really, really fast. I can only think that it's because of technology and the information age. It's going to be a hard transition because as our generation, millennials and Generation Z comes up into the work world, we aren't quite happy with the way that things are being delegated because of the information age. Because those generations above us are still in front of the TV screen while we're constantly online. Also, during this time, it's so important to honor your elders, because a lot of them are passing away. They have knowledge, and we underestimate that. We underestimate it because we focus on the fact that sometimes they don't think that the younger generations have any knowledge. We take that. Actually, the older generations want to see us succeed. They have knowledge, they aren't sitting there like they're scared for us, and I feel that the younger generations are just like, y'all could just die. Like, we need to be connecting with those people before they're gone, because they were the people that were here before the internet, whenever war was really happening. Woman was 92, just passed away. She was the woman that killed 5 Nazis or something like that, lowered them into her hotel room or something, and she killed 5 Nazis. Those are the people we should be reaching out to and asking them about their stories. We've gotten away from the true essence of what it means to live in this world. There's been such a huge merge with technology, and I think that we've been oblivious to how big the shift has been until now. Because now we've woken up in another world. Now we've woken up in another America, and we don't even know who we are anymore. But I will say that we're not lost. Don't be lost. You're here. Always be grounded. You're here. This is yours. This moment, this essence, this second and this moment is yours. Take it. Do something with it.